Shining Bell has some good chills, good laughs, and makes us question mental health issues and family relationships. Courtney, you are a queen doing this, and I've always wanted to ask you about it, the horror comedy balance and how you work on it, especially for this series.
Well, I mean, luckily I worked with Wes Craven for so many years, and he was a great inspiration, leader in teaching me how to, to be afraid in some weird ways. I mean, to how to pull that up or how to scream or all of it. And because I did Friends for so long, that was a great learning ground for me to know comedy. But this is it's a dark comedy. It's really real. Like all of the things we're going through are real topics and deep things.
Living room, dining room, family room, no basement, but the attic has plenty of storage.
I'm going to be using the attic as my writing annex.
Oh, you're a writer. Anything I might have read or seen?
Did you ever read Cressida Unbound? That was Pat's first novel.
Oh, the lady porn. Huh, what was that, 20 years ago?
No, it was 17, and it's not porn. It's a women's empowerment story about a sex addict that makes bad choices.
It's just a complete work of fiction.
It is fiction.
That's what I'm saying. It's amazing work. It's fiction.
Courtney, I want to discuss with you about how you feel about Pat's and Rosemary's relationship, as this entity, ghost or alter ego, is the one helping her, making her question herself, as she is not really being heard by anyone in her family.
Yeah, she makes me question myself. She makes me question, at some point, she makes me question she's already going through a lot of questions about her life and relationship. But then I start, questioning who I can believe in and who I can trust. And yeah, she's going crazy anyway, a little bit in her life, but then she really doesn't know, there's nothing to hold on to. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting relationship. I've never seen it done before.
Greg, the series takes on issues also as gaslighting and mansplaining in a very real environment. How challenging was it to create this couple's dynamic into what we see from Pat and Terry on Shining Bell?
Not particularly tough. I didn't think it, just in the sense that I felt like our writing ultimately, I felt like we had great writing on the show, and it's a hard thing to do. There's, whether it's comedy or horror and comedy, it's a little bit of a mystery. It's just hard to walk those lines. And I felt like, look, if we could find some tone, if the show could find its own tone, we really could have something here that'd be different, feel different, and I think Courtney's right. I felt like, at least her and I, and by the way, our kids and all of the actors who kind of populate Shining Vale just kind of all kind of fit into this very plausible reality that was created. So I felt like it was really well cast, and it was great fun to do. I had a blast doing the show. And Courtney, she's very good at being scared, but she also genuinely gets scared. So we were shooting in a terrifying house out in South Pasadena that was, by all accounts, seems to have actually been haunted. And she's just a wonderful target to toy with. My goodness, you could come around the corner and just an entire cup of coffee would go sailing up to the ceiling if you came up at the exact moment, at the right moment, and got her. So that was sport.
Pat is a writer.
I haven't written anything meaningful in 7 years. I've been in a really dark place lately. My kids ignore me. Terry's at work.
I'm hoping that being out in the country is going to help me find my muse again.
If we don't get the first chapter next month, I want the advance back.
No pressure.
Patricia, what are you doing in my house?
I think a lot of it relies on the chemistry between Greg and I. We just clicked right away, and our humor is very similar outside of work, and we knew how to kind of push each other's buttons in the best way. And so I think that that always helps when you have somebody who you can play off of, and vice versa. And it's, we had serious scenes and emotional scenes and funny scenes. So it was really nice to be able to play all of it with him.
Greg, Terry is sometimes disturbingly optimistic. I feel like he's going to explode anytime. What drew you into playing this role? And please tell us how you build this man's character and the way he's handling his family's rough patch.
Yeah, it's funny that we open the show and he's seeing a therapist with Courteney, because it feels like Terry could have used a lot of therapy prior to finding himself in this situation, but I don't think he is somebody who normally has probably used therapy. I think he's a guy who's tried to figure stuff out on his own. And I think, for the most part, I think there's a lot of good stuff that has happened with Pat and Terry over the years. There is a family, there is a bond. I kind of love the dynamic of the family that the Phelps are, but something's gone terribly wrong. And when that happens, you either have to call on great, deep introspection, or you have to just opt out and go to complete, it'll all be okay. And I think he's kind of fallen into that. He's just going to will this with his positivity and his enthusiasm to kind of get to the other side.
Used to tickle the ivories at college. I went to Penn. So, oh, it's dead.
Yeah, I have a question. It's really cold in here. Does the heat work?
Should be. Yeah, just give it a bit. I mean, the house has been empty for nearly 2 years. She's probably not used to having people inside of her. Anyway, welcome to Shining Vale.